Well, let me tell you something, brother.
So much has been said, written, and talked about.
Welcome back to Fog Wrestling, and it is at that time when the immortal Hulk Hogan turned heel and joined the New World Organization, brother. Well, that's what he said in the promo, but it's the New World Order. That's what we know it as, you know. It was teething problems at the start, but by God, what a moment this was. And of course, in the build-up to this, we had Scott Hall, Kevin Nash jumping ship. Scott Hall coming out, hey, yo, cutting promos. You've got Kevin Nash coming at the crowd one week. You've got them powerbombing Bischoff through the table off the stage. You've got metal baseball bats. They're fucking smashing the steel steps. They're smashing the guardrails. They just look like two bona fide main eventers when wrestling was great. I remember, see the few weeks before this and, you know, the weeks after it. I think they did drop the ball when they started adding like 1 million members anyway, but right. See the weeks prior and the weeks after. This is some of the greatest wrestling television you'll ever see, man. It really, really was. You know, people that think today's wrestling, oh, Triple H, he drags everything out. Let me get his big nose on down my throat there. No, this was when wrestling was truly, truly great, man. And it was incredible feud. But we knew going into the pay-per-view, Team WCW, Macho Man, Lex Luger, Sting, taking on the two outsiders. It was Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. But who is the third man going to be? Well, obviously, we know it's the immortal Hulk Hogan, but there was talk about if Hogan wouldn't go through with it, because of course he had creative control in his contract. And interestingly enough, the late great GOAT Scott Hall revealed that another member of Team WCW was actually going to be the one to jump ship if Hogan never followed through. And I'm not talking about his arse. I'm talking about turning heel, brother.
If it's not Hulk, we're going to send Sting.
Hulk goes on to say, with all due respect to Sting, it just wouldn't have worked. And why wouldn't it have worked? Well, you know, hindsight. Like, could it have worked at the time in 96? Like, yeah, but Hogan made wrestling great again with this turn. You know, if it's Sting just doesn't have the drawing power of Hulk Hogan. Here, I like Sting. I love Sting. You know, whether it's Joker Sting, you know, the Icon Sting. Wasn't really too bothered on Surfer Sting, but anyway, Sting is pretty good. It just wouldn't have worked. So when you see Hogan coming out, I mean, Heenan can half spoil it. Heenan can do whatever he wants, but when Hogan drops that leg, you know you're in for a great time, and it made for a fantastic pay-per-view ending. It is one of the greatest pay-per-view endings of all time. It is one of the greatest heel turns of all time. It's one of the most iconic wrestling moments of all time. It's one of the moments that changed the landscape of professional wrestling. It's one of the moments that got a lot of people into wrestling. It's a lot of the moments why it's fucking. I'm talking about it here in the kitchen in 2024. Not many moments in modern day wrestling am I going to be talking about it in like 2044. Absolutely not. Or remember that time Gunther got his nipples out on Raw television? No, we're not going to be talking about that, brother. We're going to be talking about the immortal Hulk Hogan.
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up.
Brother. But anyway, guys, it formed the NWO, and what an iconic faction. You know, people can say it's their favourite, people can say whatever. Too Sweet, you know, all these pathetic nerds in Japan and ROH, you know, when they whip out Bullet Club and the Too Sweet sign, this is where it originated from. These are the real fucking draws, not these jabronis in those diddy companies. You know, I look at Hogan, Hall and Nash, they're the real stars, alright? They're fantastic. I love all of them. They're brilliant. You know, that time when Hogan turned heel, joined the NWO, formed the NWO, whatever you want to call it. What an epic moment. Wrestling will just never produce a moment half as good as this. You know what I mean? It just won't. And, you know, that is, it's not even being harsh. It's just reality. It really is. Like, it takes something magical to produce something as good as this and as memorable and as iconic. And, you know, it's not something you can just write down on a pen of paper. You have to be there in the moment, and it has to happen organically. Till then, though, Peace.